You pick up your phone for a second, and 20 minutes later you're still scrolling. That's not because you're weak or careless or bad with self-control. It's because over the last century, a very powerful idea quietly took hold. The idea that what happens inside a person's thoughts, values, conscience, meaning, all that, either can't be measured or it really doesn't matter. What mattered instead was what you do, your actions, your responses, your behavior. Today, I want to show you where that idea came from, how far beyond psychology it spread, and why treating the inner human world as a black box still shapes daily life today, often in ways that we don't notice. In 1913, an American psychologist named John B. Watson published a paper that changed the direction of psychology. His claim was simple. If we can't directly observe thoughts, feelings, or intentions, if we can't see or measure them, then psychology shouldn't study them at all. Instead, he said, psychology should focus only on observable behavior. What goes in, what comes out. A sound happens, you flinch. A reward appears, you repeat the action. This way of thinking became known as behaviorism. At first, it sounded reasonable, even responsible. You stick to what's measurable, avoid speculation, you stay scientific. But something important happened in that moment. The inner human world, like meaning, conscience, intention, inner struggle, wasn't explored. It was set aside. People were no longer understood primarily as thinking, feeling beings. They were understood as systems that reacted to inputs. Watson made this concrete in a now infamous experiment called Little Albert. A baby who wasn't afraid of a harmless white rat was repeatedly exposed to the rat while a loud, frightening noise was played. And over time, the baby became afraid of the rat. The fear wasn't treated as tragedy or inner experience for the baby. It was treated as a successful change in behavior. Once humans are understood in this way, it becomes easy to stop asking why someone feels or believes something and to focus only on how to change what they do. A few decades later, psychologist B.F. Skinner took behaviorism out of theory and into practice. You may have heard of the Skinner box. An animal is placed in a box. There's a lever. When the lever is pressed, a reward appears. By carefully controlling when rewards show up and when they don't, Skinner could shape the animal's behavior very precisely. Press at the right time, reward. Press at the wrong time, nothing. Skinner believed this approach applied to humans as well. In his view, you don't need to understand inner motivation or moral reasoning. Behavior could be shaped from the outside. He once wrote that people don't truly act on the world acts on them. And this way of thinking spread quickly into schools where reward systems shaped behavior, into workplaces where performance metrics replaced judgment, into advertising where emotional triggers guided action, and into political systems, including ones that I've seen firsthand, where belief itself was treated as a problem to be corrected rather than understood. The assumption was simple. If you control the environment, you control the person. So if you've ever wondered why advertising feels so personal, why notifications arrive at just the wrong moment, why outrage spreads faster than calm. This model helps explain it. Advertising doesn't need to understand you. It only needs to reliably produce a response. Pair a product with comfort, or with fear, or with belonging. Repeat it enough and behavior follows. Today's digital platforms took this model and scaled it. Your feed doesn't ask what you believe, it tracks what you react to. Every swipe is a small experiment. Sometimes you get something interesting, sometimes you don't. That unpredictability keeps you going. Your inner life, your reasons, values, or doubts don't enter the equation. What matters is whether you clicked. From the system's point of view, you're not a person with meaning. You're a pattern that can be predicted. Over time, people begin to absorb this way of seeing themselves. Instead of asking, what do I believe? What matters to me? They start asking, how do I fix myself? How do I become more efficient? The language changes. Motivation becomes explained as chemistry. Conviction becomes conditioning. Moral discomfort is treated as error. And when anxiety, exhaustion, or numbness appear, the conclusion is rarely that something is wrong with the system. It's that something is wrong with you. But the problem was never that inner life failed. The problem was that it was intentionally ignored. Behaviorism works up to a point. It can shape habits, influence crowds, produce predictable outcomes. But it fails when it encounters things that can't be reduced just to stimulus and response, conscience, sacrifice, courage. You cannot condition someone to risk everything for truth. You cannot reward someone into integrity. Systems built on this model eventually mistake compliance for belief, and silence for consent, and stability for legitimacy. They forget there's a thinking, choosing human being inside the system, and eventually that person pushes back. If you've ever felt manipulated but couldn't quite explain why, or if you felt exhausted trying to manage yourself like a system, maybe you've sensed that something essential about being human keeps getting left out. You're not imagining it. The model is incomplete. In the next episode, we'll look at the idea that replaced behaviorism, the belief that the mind itself is software, and why treating humans like machines has quietly reshaped nearly everything. The problem was never that people failed to behave like machines. It was that machines became the standard by which people were judged.